Hello, hi, happy flow and restore together. As always, I'm Dominique. That's always what's happening here. If you would like to take us a hot second before we crack on together and grab props, lots of blankets, lots of pillows are always a really, really great idea. We're in a new kind of setting together today. I'm just up at my family's cottage, so you might hear a little more nature noises in the background, which I mean like so lovely in my personal opinion for restorative. So take a second, go ahead and grab some blankets and pillows. I will also let you know I was not practicing super safe, smart sun care. And so I definitely have a bit of a burn happening through my body. So if I'm wincing every now and then, it is not the movement. It is definitely my own poor choice making. Just wanted to address that right out of the gate in case you're like, Dom, your face is making weird things. I'm like, I know, it's the sunburn. So I'm going to go ahead and start to take my blankets and props and all that goodness off of my mat. So we will be revisiting these things. Half of our class together is designed to move and create a bit of heat and fire and get things sort of moving, getting that energy, that prana moving in the body. Second half of the class is designed to really honor the importance of restoration, rest, rejuvenation, all of those things. And I would like to take this moment to just say, there's a lot happening in the world, a lot of revolution happening in the world right now. And with all of that change, many, many different kinds of emotions. And so not that you need permission from me or permission from anybody, but if taking 20 minutes out of your day to recharge your batteries so you can show up with your best critical thinking, with your best full heart, with all of those things, you are completely, that time is a gift and it's allowed and all of those things. So I just want to thank you for taking time to honor yourself today by doing that. And at any point in time, as always, if there's anything that I'm doing and I haven't quickly enough gotten to a modification that would maybe be relevant to you, please feel free to approach this class like a blueprint. I do my best to make sure there's an option for everybody, but at the end of the day, it's your practice. So whatever you need is ultimately the most important thing. Okay, I think that's it for all the spiels. Let's inhale together, reach those arms up, take a nice big stretch in through the nose. Let's exhale, sigh it out through our mouths, and just let that go. Let's do that again. Inhale, nice big stretch. Maybe give yourself a little wiggle here, and then exhale it out. Let it go one more time. Inhale, nice big stretch up, and then let's take a side bend over. And I didn't really set us up with any particular posture. I am sitting on my bum is on my heels. You're welcome to be standing, sitting cross-legged. Take one more breath in here. As we breathe out, bring ourselves all the way up again. Have a nice bit of a stretch at center. And then let's take it the other way. Coming back to our breath, always the most important thing. Ooh, also a little asterisk. I have really bad allergies right now. So if I start not breathing properly, I'm still here. That's just what's happening in the body of Dom. Bring ourselves back up one more time. Inhale, nice big breath up together. Maybe interlace your fingers, push them up to the ceiling, taking a bit of a stretch, a bit of a wiggle. And then let's bring that down. Give those shoulders a little roll if that's available to you. And I would like for us to meet standing. So bringing yourself up to wherever the top of the mat is for you. Feeling those feet planted. And then you can let your hands rest down beside you if you'd like to. If you'd like to place one hand belly, one hand heart, you're welcome to be there as well. If it feels reasonable to close your eyes, please feel free to invite that in. Or if that doesn't feel reasonable and you'd like to keep them open, can they be open but sort of dimmed down? And I would like to take this moment together to come into our breath and doing it from a standing position, a standing shape, so that we can really root into the ground. We often say, or I often say, through our movement practice, we root to rise. And that's not just something that exists in movement, that's something that we can translate into many aspects of life and community. And so feeling as we come into our breath here, this possibility of rooting down to stand tall. Taking your inhale here, please. Taking your breath out. Maybe allowing your hands to come down beside you, Tadasana, mountain pose. And if you're new to me, I like to go ta-da, because we're here. When you're ready, inhale, sweep those arms up overhead, however feels good for you. Nice and calm as you breathe out, bow forward over those legs, taking a little forward fold. Taking a hot moment to be here. Can we use our breath to sort of wiggle out through those hips, maybe bend and stretch through the knees, giving our head a very gentle little bit of a wiggle here. If at any time your head is not happy being below your heart, please feel free to hang out in more of a halfway shape. It's going to keep your head in line with your pelvis. Big breath in here. Exhale it out. Let's find stillness through the feet. Inhale to lengthen up halfway. So we all meet in that nice sort of tabletop spine. As we breathe out, can we lower our hands however it makes sense to you? Step back, placing your knees on the floor. So we are at our tabletop now. Feeling all 10 finger pads pressing into the floor. Again, finding this energy to push away. Toes can be tucked or untucked. It's up to you. As you inhale, can we lengthen through the chest, through the tail? It's like we're spreading tail feathers behind us, drawing the chest forward and trying to pull those arms open. As you breathe out, you can go head to tail to head, or fold in until you round up through the middle. Can we fire through the glutes here and really hollow through the belly? And allow yourself that moment of bowing your head in. Inhaling to lengthen out through the spine, through the chest, through the vertebrae as we lengthen ourselves forward. As we breathe out, however you'd like to curl into center, please allow yourself to do so, but really enjoying this moment of activation at the top, so it's not passive. 2 more, inhaling to lengthen out, maybe tail to head to tail, center rippling out. This is your chance, breathe out, to start to connect your breath and movement together. One more time, inhaling to lengthen, watching for any hyperextension through the shoulders, through the elbows. We want to keep a very subtle bend there throughout our movement. Staying nice and round in your body. If you'd like to tuck your toes now, keep the curved shape and start to send your body weight back. And then bring it forward. You're still nice and round, so that might be a nice option for you. Or if you're ready to really dive right in here, you're welcome to tuck those toes, lift your hips up and back to find a downward dog. Can we all agree to bend into our knees, take a nice big breath in, and then exhale, side out. Inhaling, big breath in here. Exhaling it out. Find a bit of stillness in your downward dog. Can you look towards your hands and then sort of spring forward into more of a plank shape? Taking a breath here, and then take yourself up and back, downward dog. When you're ready, spring it forward. I like an exhale here. I like to inhale, bring myself back. Exhale to spring myself forward. Keep going there, or maybe you're back in that nice rounded child's pose. And then you can spring forward into a kneeling plank. Take it rounded back. And then spring it forward, kneeling plank. So truly whatever variation, little crack in the shoulder there, is gonna feel good for you. Taking it up and back, watching those ribs don't flare out as you find your plank. Keep drawing the belly of the ribs in. Up and back with our energy. Springing it forward. 2 more. Firing up through the glutes and the hamstrings here. They're sort of your motivation to spring. 1 more time. We're going to take it to our plank and then pause. So remember, your knees could totally be on the ground. That's where I'm going to meet you. Your legs could be up. We're going to pause here for a hot second, breathing in through the nose. Maybe exhale mouth or maybe nose. Whatever feels good for you. Little bits of housekeeping. Every time we find ourselves in this shape, can we super push the floor away without hyperextending our elbows, without popping them? Can we feel like we're drawing the arms wide away from each other, hugging the heels of the hands down? And then whatever is in contact with the floor, I'm already shaking, whether you're up or whether your knees are down, dig your toes in and pull. Ooh, there it goes. Knees and toes in towards center as well. So everything is accumulating to the middle. It is spicy. It is exciting. Take 1 more breath in here to get nice and long. And then as you breathe out, gently lower yourself to the floor. Flip those toenails. Put your side of your foot on the floor. Inhale, just a little baby chest lift here. And then exhale to lower it down. Keep pressing the feet in. Fire through glutes and thighs. Inhale, a little bit of a lift. Exhaling it down. 1 more time. Inhale, bit of a lift. Exhaling, and then however you'd like to safely make your way back. If you're coming into your full downward dog, feel free to make your way there. If you would like to stay off of those wrists, tabletop is nice. You could always come onto forearms up that way, like truly whatever is going to feel good for you. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Blow that breath away. And then can we start to maybe add a little bit of movement, a little bit of a wiggle through the hips, a bit of a sway, really allowing these breaths to be what you need them to be, what your body is calling and asking for. But the entire time we're moving, we're keeping our breath active. It's always there. And then can you start to wind this movement down, please? So eventually we're meeting in a shape that embodies a little more stillness. Home basing it out with our downward dog. We're pushing the floor away from us on a downward diagonal. We're drawing those ribs in, lengthening through our pelvis, and that may require a little bend of the knees, which amazing. Let's go there. Breathing it out. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Let's bend our knees, look to our hands, and then little sneakaroo here. We're going to walk our hands all the way back to our feet. So now you're on the opposite edge of your mat. Inhale to lengthen up halfway. So it's kind of like that nice planky spine here. And then exhaling to melt it down. Bend your knees, push the floor away. And the energy of down allows you to bring your body back upright. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Finding your way down towards your hips. Taking a pause. Inhaling here together, please. Exhaling it out. Starting to feel that rumble, that swirling of energy. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhaling, melt it forward over those legs. Inhale, using your hands, your glutes, your abs to allow your spine to lengthen out. As you breathe out, melt it forward, walk out into your version of plank. So that could be legs off the floor, that could be knees on the floor. We're going to revisit that little sort of bouncy downward dog plank situation. So we're going to lift ourselves up and back as we inhale. Fire through the glutes, bring it forward. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, spring it forward. Keep going. You could also modify it down and back towards a child's pose. And then springing forward into a kneeling or full plank. Taking it back. And then springing it forward. So finding what's going to work for you here. Where is the movement coming from? As we spring forward, it's the glutes squeezing the legs, pressing the hands, pulling you down and in. That brings you forward. Two more. Remember we talked about all points of contact on the floor. Last one, hugging in towards center. Can we make sure we feel that? Breathe in here. Breathe it out. Take one more breath in. All together, gently lowering ourselves down in one piece to the floor. Flip your toenails as you inhale. You could stay low or start to bring yourself up into your full cobra. All the way up and back. Downward dog. Take an inhale. Exhale it out. Pause. Finding a moment of stillness. Feeling what it feels like to move this energy. One more breath in, please. One more breath out. Inhale, maybe lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. And then as you're breathing out, maybe teeny tiny steps up towards your hands. However far you can get is perfect. And then your hands can walk back and meet you the rest of the way. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to soften it forward. Pressing your feet through the floor. Let's roll ourselves all the way up to standing. Keep the arms up, wiggle those feet together. And then can you sit yourself back like you're sitting on a chair? I'm going to bring my hands down so that you can maybe see me a bit better, but those arms could totally be up. Now, even though fabric is hanging and existing wherever it does, let's all agree that this shape is the same shape as a plank, right? Can we agree on that? So can we connect to what's supporting us here, our abs, our ribs, the lengthening head to tail, connect in the same way you would feel it in a plank. And then let's rock our body weight forward so we're a little more towards our toes. Maybe your heels kind of hover a little bit. And then let's rock back the other way so you're heavy on your heels, your toes can maybe lift up. Let's do that one more time, rocking towards your toes, maybe your heels lift to hover, taking those heels back, the toes lift, and then taking a moment to press your full footprint down into the floor. And as you do that, as you feel the full footprint, can we enjoy how that enhances the experience up through our hips and our glutes? And I'm using words to hopefully inspire a little bit of exploration, but if what you're really feeling is like, oh, this is kind of burning my bum, woohoo, same thing. Take a breath in, take a breath out. If those arms are up, can you hold them here? Can we breathe it here? Can we grow here for 5? Growing and breathing for 4. Drawing those ribs in for 3. If your back feels a little finicky, keep those arms a little closer for 2. Last one, when we're inhale here, exhale to fold over those legs, gently straighten them up. Inhale to come up halfway. This time as you melt down, can we step back with the right foot, lowering the right knee down to the floor. Feet on the floor, knees on the floor, hugging everything into center. Maybe reach those arms up overhead. If that doesn't feel fabulous, you can always bring your hands to your thigh and allow yourself to grow here. Back glute is on, we're hugging those legs in, and it's that same idea, root to rise, yeah? We're not hanging out in a stretch, we're actually incredibly active. Inhale. Exhale. Buttons, spicy business. Breathing in. And the more we can fire through that back glute, the more support we're giving through that front of the hip. Front of the back hip, I should say. All right, maybe your hands are on your thigh, maybe your hands are up. Can we super charge in with those legs? And they charge up so much that we can stand up nice and tall in a bit of a lunge here. And then can we reverse engineer this? Maybe we keep hugging in so much we can lower down towards the floor. Take a little second, celebrate how hard that was, and then hug the legs in. Use our leg strength to bring us back up tall. Can we again lower back down? It's like, whoa, what a fun adventure. Just as we get there, take a little second, and then bring ourselves all the way back up your inner lunge. Inhaling here, please. And as we exhale, opening up, you might have to reorganize your feet a little bit. Warrior 2. Opening those arms out, palms can be down or up. Hug the legs in, keep that front knee radiating forward, and it's like you're sort of tucking your front hip into your back pocket. We're here. The story of the warriors, how they progressed, warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3, it has its own mythology with it. And so warrior 2 is our searching warrior. It's our warrior that's been given its mission and is out on the quest to make it happen. And so as we're here, there's this energy of purpose and intention and a goal. And so it's really not just physically such a powerful place to be physically in, but with the folklore of it, pretty powerful as well. Take your back hand to the back thigh. It goes for a little ski ride down your leg as you exalt this warrior. As your arm goes back, your knees continue radiating forward. Take a breath in. And as we exhale, let's windmill this warrior all the way back down. Step into a plank variation that makes sense for you. Breathing in here, please. Breathing out. When you're ready, maybe dropping down to the floor with those knees. Inhaling, your chest allows itself to come down. And then as you breathe out, back bend of your choice. I'm going to stay down today. You might want to be up. Take one more breath in and then slide it up and back. Downward dog. Breathe in here, please. Breathe it out. Maybe a pedal of the feet is what you're calling for. Maybe stillness is what you're calling for. We're going to inhale to sweep that right leg up. And then pull that right knee in towards our chest, in towards our nose, like we could give it a little kiss. And then step that right foot to the outside of the right hand. Let's lower down with that back left knee. Can we turn those right toes out so that they're facing about 2 o'clock? And then energetically, let's hug those legs in still. With the hug in, we're going to peel our foot out to that pinky toe edge side of your foot. But remember, there's a hug in happening here. So we're sort of heading towards like a bit of a lizard situation. I would love for us to remain active. So we're going to hug in. We're going to try to externally rotate that leg. Maybe there's a twist here for you. And you're going to hold that energy for 3. Keep hugging it in for 2. Keep hugging it in for 1. Let that leg come back to center. Well, center, but still at 2 o'clock. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, hug the legs in, peel to pinky toe edge, externally rotate. We're like, woo, like how a milkshake gets sucked up a straw. That's the energy here. Maybe there's a twist here for your upper body. Keep firing through that back bum cheek. Keep turning the leg out. Keep hugging it in for 2. For 1, place that foot fully back on the floor. 1 more breath in here, please. As you breathe out, hug the legs in, peel to pinky toe edge. Maybe you have a little more range here. Maybe lifting up through that top arm for 3. Some active mobility here for 2, active range work. 1, let's plant that back down. Bring your hand back down to the floor. Wiggle your right leg back to center. Fire up through that back knee, and then can we step it forward. Look at that, we're in our forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to melt it forward, bend through your knees. Can we find that really lovely full foot planted chair? And then the rest of the body follows along. Hands can be at your heart, hands can be at your hips, whatever feels good. But remember, it's that idea of a plank here. So although fabric might flow, as it does, we want to continue thinking long. We want to continue thinking full foot here. 1 more little bit of business. Can we press those hands together so they're creating quite a lovely bit of leverage for the spine? Let's rotate ourselves to the right. And then can you sort of teeter-totter yourself down in this twist so your left elbow comes to the right thigh. And then it might be tempting to sort of like peek underneath your hands. Can we use our hands as leverage to lengthen up and out? Lovely little bit of twisting here. Breathing in, breathing it out. 1 more breath in here. Keep growing nice and long. Keep pressing through all parts of both of your feet. Can we gently please start to turn our gaze down to the floor? Release the arms but not the legs. Lengthen yourself. Take 1 more moment in this chair and then push through your feet. Stand up nice and tall. Nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale, side out. Let's shake it off a little bit, like little dance party. Let's do that all over again, because was that not super fun? Yes, maybe no. Arriving back in Tadasana, we're here. Feeling those feet plant. Again, that energetic rooting down through the floor allows us to stand tall. When you're ready, bend through those knees, sweep your arms up, and then pause. I'm going to bring my hands down so that you can see and hear me, but your hands could be up too. Can we go for that little bit of a teeter-totter with our weight? So tipping ourselves forward to our toes so that our heels maybe hover up. Whoa, Nelly, exciting business. Place your heels down and then go the other way. Take your body weight back so that your toes peel off the floor. Rock it forward, maybe your heels hover. Maybe your arms are up the whole time. Maybe to the heart, maybe to the hips. Rock the weight back, your toes peel up. 1 more time, rock that weight forward, heels hover. Rock your weight back, toes peel, and then place the toes down. Feel that nice full energy through the whole foot here. Can we get nice and stable? Arms are maybe up in space for 5. Never forgetting about the abs for 4. Never forgetting about the push down 3. About the widening across the collarbones 2. The length through the spine 1. Nice and calm. Can you melt it forward into your forward fold? Inhale to come up halfway. Exhaling to melt it down. Step back with your left leg this time, please. Left knee finds the floor. Hug those legs in, engage through the back of the bum cheek on the back leg, and then sweep yourself upright. Maybe your hands are happy coming up right away. Maybe they want to be resting on your thigh. But we're hugging everything into center, still remaining connected to the core. Are you warm? I'm like, warm, spicy, it's happening. Firing up through those legs. So now it's when we get to really embody this sense of being strong in our roots to get up nice and tall. Hug the legs in, and can we, elevator ride ourselves up towards a high lunge. Take a second, celebrate how hard we just worked, and then continue being nice and energetic, working through those legs as we super slow elevator, lower ourselves down, find the back knee on the floor. Take a hot second to be like, I just worked super hard, and then let's do it again. Hug the legs in, fire through that back knee, lift and press, lift and press, lift and press. Enjoy, celebrate your hard work, and then we're going back down nice and slow and calm. 1 more time, take your breath in. Using your breath, using the strength to bring yourself all the way up. Take a moment, celebrate how gorgeous and strong you are here, and then let's open ourselves out. Maybe it requires a little bit of rearranging through those feet as we find warrior 2 on our second side. So little bits of housekeeping here. We want to do our very best to intersect the heel of our front foot with the middle of our back foot. Our back foot is lined up parallel to the back of the mat as best as you can. That's quite a lot of work through the ankle, so know that that's happening there. We're opening up through our hips. We're rotating through that front thigh, and it really is like we're tucking it into our back pocket. Arms could be up, palms could be down, palms could be up. Palm up, freeze out through the neck a little bit, if that's something that you're working on. Let's take a breath here all together. Continually squeezing those legs in, continually getting lower with the roots of our body, but standing up tall with our energy in our spines. Take a breath in, please. Take your breath out. Back hand goes for a little toboggan ride as we exalt this shape, and even though you're going back, bend into that knee a little bit more, and then let's windmill ourselves all the way down. Step back into the flow of your choice. You could child's pose, you could downward dog, you could do whatever you want to do. But if you're going for your flow, you're going to inhale in your plank. Exhaling to allow your body to find the floor. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, up and back, downward dog. Take your breath in, please. Together, let's sigh it out. Finding a moment maybe of stillness, or maybe your body's really asking for a little wiggle on the heel or a hip. Feel free to take it. That left leg is going to sweep up, and then let's draw the left knee in towards our nose. Can we squeeze and round? Maybe you can give it a little kiss, and then pop your foot on the floor. Let's drop down to that back knee. Let's take that left foot, please, and wiggle it wide so it finds the edge of the left side of your mat. And then let's please turn those toes out to about 10 o'clock. Now, energy is super important here. The hugging in, if you watch, I'll see if I can be really dramatic. So if I were to sit, I could just like hang out in this shape, or I can recruit through the back body and I sort of like bubble up. That's what we want to feel here. Left toes are pointed to 10 o'clock. Let's roll to the pinky toe edge side of our foot, but don't lose that drawing in. That's super, super important. With that, maybe there's a twist available for you here. So you're opening your body up to the left. Keep hugging legs in. Keep trying to rotate that thigh out for 5. For 4, it's super spicy. For 3, for 2, last one, lower it down. Place your foot back down, but keep your toes at 10 o'clock. Reevaluate, is there an opportunity to lengthen more or squeeze through the glutes a little bit more? And then when you're ready, peel that foot over, pinky toe edge side of your foot, hug those legs in. Maybe there's a twist available for you here for 5. The base is strong. 4. Maybe there's an opportunity to externally rotate a little more. 3. Is there an opportunity to lengthen through the spine? For 2. Last one, close the shape in. We have one more of these. So this is sort of my callback to pigeon. Because we're not sitting in a stretch. We're allowing those muscles to contract and expand and work in a way that allows strength and range, which is what I'm all about. All right, one more time. Hug those legs in. Let's roll to the pinky toe edge side of our foot. Keep hugging the legs in. Feel that rotation of the thigh. Allow the spine to rotate. We're here for 5. For 4. Can you find more here? For 3. Within reason, though. 2. Last one, let's plant the hand down, walk the foot back in. That left foot finds center. Can we charge up through that back leg? And then we step that back foot forward. Whew. Feeling the full foot pressing down, bending through our knees, we arrive back up in that chair pose. Spicy hot business pose. That's not the direct translation, but that's what I've decided to call it. Checking in with the lengthening of your spine, the connection to your belly, to your glutes, to your feet pressing into the floor. Using those hands as leverage, we're going to lengthen our chest out through our hands, and then maybe it's available to you for that upper body to twist. Finding the right elbow to that left knee. Watch to make sure the legs don't start to do their own funky dance. We would love for them to stay parallel. Use your hands as leverage so you can peek over top of them, and allowing still there to be this energy of length. Yeah, never sort of crouching in. And if that's not accessible, you can always just keep your hands on your thighs, right? Like however you're going to get there is totally perfect. Take your breath in. Take your breath out. One more time, breathing in. Breathing it out. Looking down to the floor. Can you take those arms, reach them forward. Keep going with those legs. Breathe in. Push through the floor. Stand up tall. Bring yourself up. Give yourself a little boogie. Give yourself a little shake. Grab some water if you need it. And then one last little piece of flowy business together. Arriving on your mat, standing nice and tall, feeling again how that energy of work, of being connected down into the ground, allows us to flow. Those arms are going to sweep up as you sit back, and I know we've been here a fair amount, so we know what we're doing, yeah? Hands can come into our chest, they could come to our hips, feeling those ribs drawing in, feeling the length through our spine, and pressing through that full foot. We're going to go for that little bit of a teeter-totter again, so like, let's all buckle up, it's going to be exciting. Hands can be again where you need them to be. Let's stay low in those hips if we can. Tip ourselves forward so that maybe your heels hover up. We're going to slowly lower heels down, tip your weight back so maybe your toes lift up. Lower your toes down, can you teeter forward so your heels hover? Lower your heels down, rock back, your toes lift up. Gorgeous work here. And if you're feeling stumbly and imbalanced and we fall over, that is all part of the practice, right? Which is why we call it practice, because if it was boring, or if it was perfect, it would be boring. Ruin the punchline there for you. Bring yourselves up, heels hover. Lower them down, toes lift. Last time here, can you hover those heels? And then after you've found your highest place, lower them about halfway. So they're not in their highest possible placement. They're about halfway. Can we get a little lower in the legs? Now here's something really spicy and fun. If we reach those arms forward and we're tilted on a diagonal, spice-orama for sure. But if we keep our legs where they are, can we bring ourselves upright? Whoa, Nelly, let's keep the legs where they are. Let's move our body, tilting it forward. Let's keep our legs where they are. Let's take our bodies. Is anyone else like so spicy and shaky right now? Defo happening over here. Up nice and tall. One more time. Take your lean forward. Ooh, the legs are shaking. Bring yourself upright. And then like an elevator, slowly lowering down to the floor. Can you keep going back, and then lower yourself down to the floor however you need to. It definitely does not need to be graceful. Planting those feet down, lean yourself back, give yourself a little windshield wiper. Whew. Grab some water if you'd like it. Definitely breathing. Maybe a little towel off if you're like me and already like just sweaty. Let's bring ourselves back to sitting upright, please. And now this is a great opportunity if you have gathered props, because sitting up tall can be quite a huge ask of the pelvis. Let's grab something. So it could be a pillow, it could be a blanket, a towel, anything really. And you're gonna just pop yourself up so that you can kind of tilt off the ledge. It's gonna allow your pelvis to find more of an anterior tilt, which will bring you upright if you're into the anatomy stuff. Let's lengthen those legs out nice and long. Let's start to nod our chin in towards our chest. And like we're rolling a cinnamon bun, can we sort of roll in on ourselves as we walk our hands forward, just bowing inwards for a moment. Knowing that we're starting to calm the energy down, so let's allow our breath to be a part of that too. Maybe you're still working with a new Ujjayi breath, which is when you inhale and exhale through the nose, the exhale a little more constricted, sort of like you're blowing out a milkshake from your nose. Which, I mean, I'm sure we all did as children at some point, right? And then using a bit of a scoop through the belly, can we bring ourselves all the way back up? And just walk those hands back. Give yourself a moment to like, whoo, that's kind of fun. We're going to bring ourselves upright. Can we tuck our right foot with the inseam of our left leg? So now we have one leg out in front of us, like we're doing a seated tree pose. We're going to square off those hips as much as we can. And instead of hinging forward, can we again roll in on ourselves? So bringing your chin in towards your chest, hollowing through your belly as you walk yourself forward. And never asking to be pulled somewhere in the body. Our bodies are these beautiful devices. I don't want to say machine because that sounds really industrial, but it's its own ecosystem, and it will tell you when it's at its edge. We don't need to push past it. So continually curling in, flexing if you can through that front foot, bringing that breath down. If you can, if it's available to you, can you keep some tone in your quad? Keep it drawing up. One more breath here, please. And then using those hands to bring yourself all the way back upright. We're going to keep this configuration, except for we're going to bring the right foot up now. And if your right foot feels happiest planted on the floor on the inside of your left leg, fantastic. If your right foot feels happiest on the outside of your left leg, great. We're going to take our left arm and sort of hook that elbow into the thigh. Can we all reach up nice and tall through that right arm? Place the right hand behind the right hip or on your cushion if that's where you're at, like me. Lengthening up nice and tall, and then from that belly, rotating around to the right, creating some compression through that hip. Continually engaging through that long leg. This is sort of our root to rise moment. In and out. Breathing in. Breathing it out. Turning your gaze back towards forward, whatever that means for you. Unraveling the shape. Release that leg and then maybe take a little counter twist over to the left. Maybe lean it back, give your legs a little jiggle, whatever feels good for you. And then when you're ready, making yourself back upright. This time we're going to take the left foot folded into the right inseam. Let that thigh open out. And you're always welcome to slide in some blankets and pillows and all of that stuff to offer you a bit more support for your joints. That's fabulous. I love that. Let's flex out through that foot. And again, instead of hinging, we're going to sort of cinnamon bun roll ourselves in. So we're going to nod our chin down towards our chest, hollow through our bellies, round and take the shape forward. And knowing from side to side, there is no real good and bad. Our body works in spirals. So if you have one side that feels like it's a little bit tighter or a little less available to you, it just means that that side has worked really hard. And maybe we haven't noticed it's hard work because, again, our bodies are so smart. They just do things for us, right? And so resisting the temptation to bring in top of inadequacy here, and can we just make it really special and like, oh my gosh, look how hard you worked. Let's just like totally breathe into you right now. Inhaling and exhaling. And although we're being respectful and sweet to ourselves, can we make sure that that quad is still ching ching, nice and turned on? Taking a breath here, and then using those hands to walk yourself all the way back up, maintaining the right leg long. Let's fold the left foot up. So maybe the left foot stays planted to the inside of the right inseam. Maybe that's fabulous. Maybe you'd like to cross it over to the outside. Right elbow nooks around the left knee. Left arm reaches up. And then let's place it behind our left hip, wherever that is. Rooting down to stand tall. And then from the belly, spiraling around to the left. Breathing in. Sounds like there's chickens outside. And out. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but that's what it sounds like to me. And out. I have a deep fascination with chickens. Breathing in. And out. Bring your gaze back to center. Unravel the shape. If there's anything else you feel like you need, maybe it's a little bit of a happy baby moment, maybe a bridge, any little things. Maybe you want to hold a plank for a minute. Please feel free to freestyle as I start to set us up and talk us through the restorative portion of our time together. So I always, like with restorative, the first thing we're going to do is lay something out on top of our mats. And I like to do this because it makes it comfier and cozier, but it's also going to sort of signal to our bodies that something new is happening, something that feels a little bit different than just being on our mats. So lying that out here. Got a nice line reading for you happening today. Line it out. That's the nice thing about being in a new space is some fun different props. So I would like to visit a side lying shape together. I will do the first side with you. And then the second side, I have some chimes with me, so I will be playing them. Hopefully that's okay. Also, my other side is the worst part of my burn, so I don't want to lie on it necessarily. Okay, so we're going to figure out where you want the top of your mat to be, and that's going to be where your first pillow goes. So I want the top of my mat to be up here. That's where it's going to go. Second little bit of business is placing a blanket on top of that. So we have our pillow, we have our blanket. Ta-da! For our side lying, we want to fill in the gap between, so our shoulder is going to be the free part. Maybe that's an easier way to say that. Our shoulder is going to be the free part. So that's where there's going to be a gap. So we want to close up everything below that along the length of our waist. I'm going to take another pillow and put it just a little bit south of my top pillow, but I'm not going to put them right next to each other. And so just to test that out, if I sit right down near that bottom pillow, if I allow my waist to come over, let that right arm go down, and then I'm just going to scoot my top pillow situation and see how that feels. And I'm hoping that feels fairly comfortable. If you're feeling like it's a little too high, you could always place something underneath. Yeah, this is the tedious part, right? The first part setting up is a little bit like, oh my gosh, so many things. But it's because we want the most deluxe experience, the most like, ooh, I'm super cozy, I could stay here forever. The last little thing I'm going to add in here prop-wise is a pillow for in between my knees. So we have pillow for in between your knees or blanket. Pillow set up to sort of fill in the waist to rib situation. Letting my right arm thread through a space, and then I have pillows at the top here for my head. I like to take this top arm and just sort of tuck it under. If that doesn't feel like something you're interested in, you could always put a pillow here too or a blanket and give it a little cuddle. If you'd like to extra super deluxe this, you can take whatever is supporting the top layer of your head and just sort of roll it in. That's why I like to use a blanket for this or like a really pliable pillow. And you're just going to sort of roll it in on itself. And so you create this like little bit of a nest, a little bit of a crown for your head. Bringing our energy down, bringing our breath down, knowing that we've worked hard, and so taking a second to fill up our cups again means we can move forward with a little more energy than maybe how we started. On this first side, I would love to offer you a little bit of a guided meditation. If you're not interested and you just want to be where you are, I'm not even a little bit offended. You're welcome to set a timer because we will flip about halfway to do our second side. So as we're lying here on the right side of our bodies, taking a moment to just notice as you've been here a little bit longer, if there's anything that can be done to make it a little comfier, a little cozier. If there's a blanket that maybe has a crease in it, or maybe something's a little high or low. And using our breath to facilitate the opportunity to relax a little bit deeper. If you get so comfy that you start drooling, that is an A+ sign. And so as your body continues to melt here, starting to notice the flow of your breath. Noticing the ins and the outs. And noticing if there's anything that's really holding on that just needs a little bit more support to release. Starting with your toes, noticing if your toes are holding on really tight. Can we allow those very, very important muscles, very important parts of our body to soften? We take the attention up through our ankles, up through our shins and knees, our calves, and notice if there's anything that can be done in that space to soften a little bit more. Taking it further up our legs, around our kneecaps, around our quads. Muscles that we did work pretty hard, pretty quickly. Taking our attention up to our hips, our hip creases, our low back, and even into our low bellies. Are we holding on to any extra tension here, or is there a possibility to invite a release? Constantly allowing that dance of inhaling and exhaling to create more space. Taking it up a little bit higher into more of our midsection, more of our rib cage. Into our diaphragm, our lungs. Knowing again that this is both a very simple and complex part of our bodies that does its job without us even really noticing. We only notice if something takes a detour. And so using this time as a chance to give it a little thank you, a little recognition. Taking our attention a little higher up into our shoulders, into a higher cavity of our chest. Noticing if there's anything happening here that would like the opportunity to soften away a little bit more. Noticing it down our arms, into our hands, our fingers. If anything's still gripping here, offering permission for them to soften. And then finally, taking this attention up to the back of the head, the back of the neck. Are you holding your head off of its surface, or can you allow it to drop in? Noticing the relationship of your jaw, your eyebrows, the creases around your eyes, the gaze underneath your eyelids, any extra memory lines around our hairline, even your ears. And lovingly allow those spaces to take a moment to soften. I'm going to give you about a minute in silence here, and even though you won't hear from me, know that I'm still here and available to guide us onto our second side. Inhaling and exhaling. If you're preparing to be ready to flip over, the process of our second side is much easier. All you have to do is roll over. And so if that's something you would like to consider, before you move anything, can you just take stock of how your body's feeling right now? And if there's anything that you feel like needs fidgeting or changing to be 1,000,000% comfortable on your second side, knowing that you have the liberty to do that. Starting to maybe deepen the breath, expanding into the ribcage, the intercostals, the lungs a little bit more. And then when you're ready, all it might take is a simple rolling over and establishing side number 2. Now I'm not going to lie on that side. I'm going to bring myself up. So please feel free to take a moment on this second side and zhuzh it up. If you did that little blanket foldy trick, you might need to release and then tuck it all up on the other side. Maybe your shoulder on this side would like a little more support, and so a little tuck of a blanket under there is always fabulous. And then knowing that we had the opportunity to zhuzh it up on the first side, can we drop back into that here? I would love to be able to offer us a little bit of chime playing here. And so if it's something you're not interested in, great opportunity to mute me out or pause. And if you would like to close this practice together, I will be offering that as well. If you kind of just want to stay here for as long as possible, feel free to just let it be here. You might hear some birds and water in the background. I hope that's okay too. being exactly as you are, coming back down to your breath. Noticing the fluctuation, the dance, the rhythm of your inhales and of your exhales. If you're interested in closing this practice together, I'm going to begin guiding that process. But again, if you're happy where you are, please stay as long as you'd like. Starting to deepen that flow of your breath, expanding through those inhales and softening through those exhales. In no rush, an indulgence of the breath. Maybe starting to invite very subtle movements, maybe a movement of the jaw, maybe a yawn, maybe a twitch of fingers and toes, maybe a big stretch overhead. Knowing that we are slowly preparing our bodies to arrive in a more upright shape. And so with no rush to be there, if you're happy being on your side, continue to stay that way. If you feel like you need to move on your back or maybe do a little wiggle of knees into chest, feel free to visit that as well. And when you're ready, maybe with eyes closed, maybe with them dimmed down, bringing ourselves to meet in a seated shape. Maybe placing, once you're there, one hand at heart center and one hand over that. Taking a gentle bow in to close. One of my teachers years ago shared this story about how we are sort of like fountains. And if we're a fountain that's constantly spouting water and giving water, but never making sure to refill the pipes, then eventually at some point that water stops flowing and filling, and we can't be of service the way that brings us such joy. And so in order to keep the fountain going, to keep the fountain being available to be of service, making sure that those pipes are full of water. And so if you needed to hear it from anybody, this is your moment of thank you for giving your pipes, your fountain, the opportunity to refill just a little bit so that we can move forward together with our best possible ability to be of service. As always, it is an absolute pleasure and privilege to be able to guide your practice. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of that with you today. I hope you have a beautiful, whatever it is you have happening, and that we move together in peace and love and resiliency and community and respect. Thank you for being here today. Have a fabulous rest of your day.